Howdy mates, good morning. How are we all doing today? It is Sunday, June 26th, 2022. I'm actually revisiting a site that I would go to all the time when I was still living up here. I'm over visiting the Stillwater Prairie Preserve. Oh, and by the way, my cousin Austin's in the background. He's joining with me today. It's been good to see him. But yeah, just ahead, we've got the Stillwater River. It is considered to be a scenic river designated by the state. So basically, since it is designated as a scenic river, there is some limitation in terms of how much watercraft can come through here. So usually it's only limited to kayaks and canoes, but right now it's actually a bit shallow right now, just because up in Ohio right now there really hasn't been that much rain. But I figured while I'm here, there's a chance for me to refresh myself on some of the flora that I have become familiar with over the years. So like right here, we've got something called the Whorled Loosestrife. Typically this plant will grow usually 2 to 3 feet tall, but it has a neat arrangement. So usually there are 5 separate petals that are yellow, but it's called a Whorled Loosestrife, not based on the planet, but it's spelled a different way. W-H-O-R-L, whorl. It's so called that because if you look, you can see like the outer leaves. So, okay, like in this particular arrangement, you can see that there are 4 outer leaves. But the thing is, they all meet at the same point of the stem. So that's why it is called the Whorled Loosestrife. So it's actually an attractive flower up in Ohio. So then, walking along, and by the way, usually most of these flowers that we're seeing, a lot of them usually prefer more of the, what you call, alkaline type of soil, which makes sense because we're essentially standing on top of dolomite, which is basically a form of limestone. And much of this bedrock that we're walking on came from the Silurian period in geologic time. So you figure that was greater than 300 or so million years ago. So I stumbled upon this plant as well. It is something known as a Marsh yellow cress. Bit of a smaller plant. They typically only grow maybe 1 or 2 feet, not that large. But they always have their cluster of multiple flowers in one bundle. And usually, when it comes to them being edible, usually you have to get them when they're young, because that's usually the best time. So the leaves can actually be used on salads, for instance. So it's, most people oftentimes consider it a weed, but really a weed is just a plant that someone doesn't desire, pretty much. Oh, and by the way, I have my cousin Austin joining me today. You can wave at the camera. It's been really good to see him because it's been a little over a year now. But yeah, It's a very peaceful setting out here. A lot of good memories. This was one of my other most common spots that I would come to visit. So it feels nice to be out here again. So, alright you guys, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm outwards. Take care. See ya.